welcome back to my channel. Today I would really like to talk about connections among human beings. Specifically, how I understand and make connections with people around me. But before I crack on, I would like to start with some spice, which are some funny stories here in Busan. So the first one is, on the first day I arrived here, it happened that there is another girl on the lobby, and my manager, or should I call him my pseudonym, introduced me to the girl, and she was actually a Canadian born in China. So I thought she may be very familiar with English speaking environment, and I just kind of pushed her to speak English with me. I said, "Hey girl, I'm all the way here not seeking for a Chinese friend, but rather to make some international connections, especially have a chance to polish my English." And she said okay. And then it started to happen like, picture this. Every day after work, we would take a walk on the seashore and we just talk with each other in English. But we are in two Asian faces. So it means almost every passerby would stare at us for a while. It's quite interesting that we are saying that maybe next time if someone asks you where you come from, you can say I'm from the UK, and she's gonna say thank you, I'm from Ohio. Yeah, it's just a joke. Okay. And the second story is bittersweet, I guess, because since the room for the volunteers is full, so I was arranged to another room where I stayed almost alone. I lost the chance to communicate with other people, but still it's quite free and quiet for me to do anything I want. Especially like right now, I can just record my podcast here in my room, so I guess so far it's fine. Okay, back to our topic, connections with human beings. So actually under this concept, there are like friends, socializing that you use to exchange resources or ideas, or even those meetings by chance. So for me, I spent quite a long time to master this mindset, which I will tell you later. I guess when I was young, very young, in that premature life stage, I just want to be friends with everyone, blend into a group to make you be liked by everyone in the class or at school, that kind of thing. But when I come to my 20s, I got very confused about true friends and also the meaning of socializing. At last, after all those struggling about meaning, about friendship, finally I found that anyway, people drift apart no matter how close they were. Then I come to realize people come and go. It's just how this world functions. And this concept in my mind actually is strengthened by a podcast I listened to before. In that podcast, it says, "People come and go. It's a beautiful thing. We should love it." Then I began to cherish the time with everyone who come to my life, although sometimes it was just a meet by chance. I'll give you bunches of examples to tell you how I make connections with people around me. So the first example is my connection with Oliver. We've never met each other in real life. We've met actually in a language exchange platform. At the time, he said he would like to change his occupation, and I said I would like to polish my English. And then we started to talk. So after a while, as we got to know each other better, he told me that his sister was going through a very serious depression. I felt so sorry for that, so I decided to make some handmade gifts for them, and I prepared 2 books with my handmade bookmarks, all the way sent the package to Hong Kong. And I still remember the books. One of them is Siddhartha from Hermann Hesse, and another one is Dubliners from James Joyce. And I just did this for nothing but a bit encouragement. There is nothing about I expect any special response or future connection. And the second example is my connection with Jackie. He was a college student I met in an English corner. At that time, he was preparing his TOEFL test, and I just spent whole night to write down a PDF about some TOEFL tips and my detailed insights about this test, and sent it to him. And I guess after 2 or 3 months, he told me he passed the exam, and he was so happy, and I was also happy for him. I'm happy that I helped a little bit, but indeed at that time some friends asked me why you sacrifice your time and energy to help other people. I was thinking that no, it should not be called sacrifice. I was willing to help others just for the sake of me. I just minimalizing my advantage to help other people, and then I can get a sense of fulfillment. That's already enough for me. Later, I have some experience like helping other people in the airport. I still remember once when I took the flight from Tanzania back to China. I have to transfer in Ethiopia, and on that flight there are quite a bunch of Chinese people. I guess they work in Tanzania or run some business there. So when we waiting for boarding, the staff there gave instructions like all the passengers should take the order from back seats to front seats. But I guess there is no Chinese people who can understand the stuff, so I did the interpretation for them a little bit. After we got off the flight, we have to transfer in Ethiopia. It means we should do the security check again, or even the immigration. I was a little bit worried about, all those Chinese passengers, so I looked around to make sure almost every passengers I saw before had safely arrived the gate. And just on the way, there was a lovely couple. They said they came to Tanzania to visit their son. I guess he was working in Tanzania. And they want to buy some stuff for their family members in all those duty-free shops, but they don't understand English, so still I there did the interpretation for them to help them to buy the stuff. And even at the last minute, I sent them to their boarding gate. They were so grateful for me to help them, so they said so many thank yous to me that evening. Still, I was happy. Another experience also happened on the flight. A Ukrainian man sat beside me and he wanted to buy some water, but he had only got some dollars, no RMB. But the flight was a Chinese airline company, and the flight attendant said they don't take American dollars. So again, I told him that I can buy the water for him if he happens to do the money exchange after getting off the flight. He maybe can pay me back like that. Otherwise, if he is just, like transfer in China, then it's also okay. Not a big deal. It's on me. He was very surprised and thanked me and took the water. But in return, he gave me some small notes from different countries and said, I know you will maybe never go to those countries to spend the money, but just keep them as a symbolic keepsake. Yeah, that's it. This is some examples that how I deal with it, even though I know people come and go. So far, I think everything I did like this is to memorize the past. No expectation, nothing about response, return, or even future. No matter they are my old friends or new friends or even just some strangers we met by chance, I just want to thank them, thank what I have experienced physically and mentally. So again, people come and go. It's a beautiful thing. We should love it. Okay, before I wrap up this episode, I still want to share with you an afterword of this chapter, because things sometimes really go weird when I make connections with people around me. There are actually 3 little stories I want to share with you. The first story happened several years ago when I bought a second-hand book. It's a very old version for a English Chinese translation book, and at that time The owner of the store actually sent me a message. Can you imagine? It's not a message from the platform, or should I say the online store, the kind of after sales services. It's, yes, as you know, it's a real message on my phone through the phone number. It says, I'm so sorry that it takes such a long time to get the book to you, because this version of the book is really a rare one. Almost no one would like to find this book, so it was actually already on the very corner of our warehouse. So I also spent a long time to find it out for you, but the cover is too old. I'm a little bit worried that whether you will feel it's worthwhile for the price. Anyway, I will send the book first to you, and when you receive the package, just let me know whether you are satisfied with its quality, something like that. I was quite surprised by this message, and I found it was so cute. So I decided to give him a reply. I said, I think it's okay. Thank you for informing me that I think I don't mind the cover, because all I want is the content of the book, so don't worry. And I just felt so happy about the conversation itself, because it was so humane. It also reminds me of a book. The name of the book is 84 Charing Cross Road. I guess maybe some of you know it. It also has been compiled into a movie. Check it out if you are interested in it. Anyway, it's also about book. An American lady keeps buying some old books, those classical literature, I guess, from a British bookstore. Yeah, anyway, story happens like that. Yeah, this is the first story. And the second story is, last year during the Chinese Spring Festival, I invited some of my friends to come to my house to chat a little bit and had a dinner, and I ordered some beer online, and I just found there are two kinds of packages of a same brand or same flavor alcohol, and I asked the owner of the shop what's the difference, and he said he has no idea about that. He has to check online, maybe Google it, and then let me know. And I said it's okay, I gonna take whatever, and then the conversation is finished. And the conversation actually happened in the platform, the online platform, the after sales services. So I just closed the chat box, and then nothing happened. But after 5 months, I ordered something else in the same store, and I also want to ask something. And I opened the chat box again, and I found at that time, after I closed the chat box, maybe around half an hour, the owner just typed me back. He said, hello, I googled it for you, and I found actually there are no big difference. It's just the technique to brew the alcohol is kind of different, but the taste is almost the same. And he said, by the way, Happy New Year. Oh my gosh, so sweet. I was surprised and also felt a little bit shamed because I didn't open that chat for almost 5 months. It's already been in the middle of the year, but I still said thank you so much. Although it is a little bit late, but still, Happy New Year. Okay, one last story. It happened this year. It's still on an online shop. I want to buy a Korean brand tea. You know, for this kind of stuff, there's no many shops who sell the tea. So I just spent a long time to search for a shop to buy the tea, and then I found one. But still, you know, the package of the stuff didn't match with the product information description on the page. So still I asked the owner, like, can you tell me what exactly there is, like how many packs are there? And he said, I'm so sorry, there may be some little mistakes on the information page. You can just follow the product picture to find out the number of the packs. And I said okay. And then all of a sudden I was thinking, okay, maybe he's not familiar with this brand, but actually this is a really nice brand tea. I'm gonna back up some knowledge to him. And I popped up some details about this brand, about this tea to the owner, and I said, in case you don't know, I just want to give you some extra information because you can actually have these products more on your shop, because I know it's quite popular in Korea, and also some Chinese people, they want this tea, so I guess it's quite trending. So he was also, I guess, very shocked and surprised and said, thank you, you are so kind. I will do more about it and sourcing more products to upshelf. Thank you. Yeah, that's all. Quite funny, right? I know. Anyway, yeah, this is just how I make connections with people around me. I hope it can give you some inspirations when you deal with people. That's all. These are all I want to share with you today in this episode. I hope you enjoy it and hope to see you next time. Bye.